cooling towers of the Radcliffe-on-Soar power station. This is the village of Shardlow. The Trent and Mersey Canal begins here, joining the River Trent and the River Derwent. The idea was to form a roundabout link between Hull and Liverpool, taking in the Potteries. Not surprisingly, one of its early backers was Josiah Wedgwood. Nowadays, Shardlow is better known for its excellent pubs, and it's supposed to have a haunted hotel. There's an unusual-looking canal-side industry here as well. I think we've got a secret still over here, so I'll go and find out exactly where I can get a drink. Excuse me?
Yeah?
Is that a still there, by the way?
Still?
Yeah, to booze, you know.
No.
What are you doing exactly?
Well, we're raising steam to see the plank.
This bottle as well.
What do you want to do that for?
So we can bend it round the boat.
And this is what you do here, you, what, build boats, repair boats? That looks rather an old one to me.
It is, built in 1910.
And yeah, that's your business, is it, in actual fact? Repairing boats and renovating?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah.
And this is how you bend the planks, is it?
Yeah, we steam them for between 3 and 4 hours.
Yeah.
When they come out, they're quite flexible, so you can bend them and twist them to get them round the shape. We've steamed those 2 new planks you can see.
Nice. That's how you do it, is it?
Yep.
Oh, so it isn't a still, it's got a practical use, huh?
It certainly has. Everything around here has a practical use.
How long have you been doing this sort of thing?
5 years.
5 years. Do you, in fact, buy hulks or get all the hulks yourself and do them up, or do you work to order?
We work to order.
Yeah.
We find people or they find us.
Oh, I see. You're now well known, are you?
On the canal system, probably, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a small world.
How long would it take you to, say, to finish off that one there?
About a couple of months now. It's about 4 months' work that we've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks in a fairly rotten state. I mean, you're virtually rebuilding it, aren't you?
Probably about half of it. Maybe, well, more than half. We're doing a complete new bottom strakes all round. That's the plank, the strake.
Yeah.
And most of a new stern. About half the other side of the boat will replace. And then all the lining inside the boat.
Very unusual job for a lady.
Woman.
A woman. No ladies do this sort of work.
Nope. I don't think it's an appropriate term.
Is that right? I mean, what made you decide to earn a living doing this sort of thing?
Well, I moved onto a boat, and the boat was in a boatyard where this kind of work was done, and I thought I want to have a go, so I did.
Yeah. It becomes like a drug, this boating business, doesn't it? Once you start it, you can't give it up.
Well, it takes a long time to learn how to do it.
Yeah. It looks a bit primitive, doesn't it? I suppose it must have been like this in the old days. This is the old canal port. Ahead is an 18th century mill with its large central lock for boats to enter and unload. It's a restaurant nowadays. They say this is one of the best preserved canal ports in the country. We're crossing the River Dove on an aqueduct. The heavy rainstorms of the past few days have brought flooding to the river. You can't even see the arches. Flooding can cause trouble on the canal too. An increase in water level is controlled by strategic opening and closing of locks wherever possible. Luckily, the flooding's not affecting us. It's not going to hold us up as we near our journey's end. We're approaching the capital of the Midland brewery industry, Burton-upon-Trent. It all started here around about the 13th century, when the monks at Burton Abbey found that they could brew a very potent ale, something to do with the water in this part of the world. Around about 1708, the first real brewery was established here, and they used to export to places like Russia and Peter the Great. At one time, they had 31 breweries operating in Burton, but now only a handful remain. I don't think we'll stay too long to sample the wares. It won't be too good for the boaters if we arrive at our destination a little bit under the weather now, would it? This is the Heritage Brewery Museum, a working brewery which produces top-class beer for the Midlands, but in a traditional way and in an historic setting. Today's a special open day where the old skills of the industry are on show. The museum director is Michael Knights, who's been involved in the conservation of historic buildings and is a bit of a crusader for the traditional qualities of English beer. Right, Michael, show me where the beer's brewed, OK? Oh, yeah. Michael, when was this place built?
The brewery was built in 1881 by Thomas Sykes. He was a Liverpool brewer, came down to Burton like many other brewers did in the middle 19th century.
What was the big attraction? What brought them here?
Well, the Burton water is, of course, the famous Burton water is the main attraction for the brewers, because you could brew a good strong beer, but still a sparkling ale. And that's, of course, why so many of the breweries came to Burton in the 19th century, Teddy.
What room's this, Michael?
Well, this is the mash room here.
And what's that thing?
Is the mash tun, of course.
Is that what you call it?
Yep.
Now, tell me, Michael, how did you come to get involved in this museum?
Well, I've been in Burton about 12 years, Tony, and when I first came here, I was witness to the demolition of the brewery building at the back of us here, Peter Walker's old brewery, and I was determined that we should do something to preserve some of Burton's unique industrial and architectural heritage. And I work for the local authority, you know, and 2 years ago they agreed to second me to this project because the local authority are also concerned about the demolition of so many of Burton's brewery buildings.
Places like this are Burton